Welcome to this month's Intention podcast. This is the performance section, and I am Supernatural C. So today we've got performances from I Am Adriana T and I Am I. Synthonia will be here to contribute to the discussions around the pieces. So I'm going to start by introducing I Am Adriana T. Adriana has a unique style of writing. She speaks with force and power, is vulnerable and gentle, and we all enjoy her pieces every month. So we're looking forward to this. What's the title of your piece, please, Adriana?
Today, we're working with Teachable Moments. Peace, everybody. And not much of a description. I think this piece can and will speak for itself. All right, let's get into it. I'm gonna need y'all to listen to receive what I'm spitting. Take a minute to envision how to act upon intention. Take a step out your boxes to absorb what I'm kicking, because it's bound to change your life and free your thinking from its prison. Clink, clink. I heard this helps your mental game. I heard that helps your heart. I heard you need this so-and-so. I know that helps you start. I hear the conversations, elevations, I dig it. But this ocean runs deeper than surface level attention. Trigger words, clickbait, language that promotes hate disguised as healing mandates when we already don't think straight. Well, tell us what you mean, Ike. Can you share it with us the right way? Is it hard to find a safe space in this world of take? The right way is up to you. But I can help you paint your picture. A masterpiece you paint from your own mental filters. Start by unlearning what they say will fulfill you. Timelines and commercials are mental freedom concealers. This helps your body. Use the promo code below. Empathizing with your pockets, because they already know. The majority are struggling and looking for answers, but they're also distracted by digital cancers. Research? No. Use the QR code below. Click the link in my bio and do what you're told. Not what you think. Are you starting to see? The algorithm is designed for your brain to shrink. The remedy is simple. Defy what they say to uncover the ushers leading the way. First, let me say, your first usher is you. Yes, you by the entrance avoiding the pew, you who won't listen to your own intuition, the whisper that's distant but clear with intention. Y'all good in the back? Okay, just checking. I'll raise my voice a little bit so you will catch this lesson and receive all the blessings you spent years deflecting, standing in the way of the life you're requesting. You by the entrance avoiding the pew, you by the entrance avoiding you who won't listen to your own intuition, the whisper that's distant but clear with intention. I hope y'all don't mind a little repetition. Google told me that's how you'll keep what I'm giving, catch what I'm kicking, repeat what I'm saying to those young and old so they know you're not playing. Checkers no mo, because you peeped the deceit, said no to the codes and claimed your seat to make sure your next move is made in this chess game of life, reigniting your light while inside your dark night. Now that's all right. I think I hear my help coming. I know that's right. You better put them gloves on and learn to fight. Fire with sparks in the mind. Breaking the spells that took over your mind, yours and mine. No, I'm not exempt. I'm just like you. Used to want to fit in just like you. Lied, stole, manipulated, dimmed my light too. Confidence a mystery. Couldn't find Shag and Scoob because I was the villain, wearing several masks too. Lost track of who was who, didn't have a point of view. Woo! My bad. You okay? You look very exhausted, out of sorts by my narrative, so I'm begging your pardon. Making it simple and plain, your fatigue is my point. If my story's overwhelming, you can heed my point. If the truth I told you took energy from you, imagine how you'd feel if I was you. Exactly. So until you reach a breaking point and find what you forgot, yourself. By listening to everybody else, finding yourself improves your health, resets your wishes, enhances your dreams, makes what I'm saying a tangible thing. Ring a ding ding, are you ready to answer? The call for your appointment to get rid of that cancer? Cool. Bet that. You scared? I respect that. It's better to be scared and win than safe in constant setbacks. Ooh, did you catch that? Fear is not only a warning, it's a test of your behavior and the way you're performing. It's a test of your confidence to see if it's stable and a test of your resolve to see if you're able to achieve the identity you're seeking to harness. Did you mean what you said? Or was it all just garbage? Nothing in your journey will appear without challenge. That's the point of the challenge, to teach you balance, teach you courage in the face of change, in the face of the faces who remain the same, choosing to be angry, nervous, ashamed, choosing to care what other people might say, choosing to remain in their fog of trauma, blaming their todays on historical drama, choosing self-medication, self-degradation, lack of self-education, and remaining complacent, choosing not to heal, stating it's too hard, blaming everyone else, even God, but refusing to look themselves in the mirror to discover their purpose by seeing them clearer, admitting their faults and living to earn the magic of living through what they learn about themselves, about the world, about their inner children and inner world. Uncovering intention requires ascension by finding your keys to the fifth dimension. Do you trust yourself enough to listen? Okay, cool. Let me start from the beginning. I'm gonna need y'all to listen to receive what I'm spitting. Take a minute to envision how to act upon intention. Take a step out your boxes to absorb what I'm kicking, because it's bound to change your life and free your thinking from its prison.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Chocker chocker, chocker blocker. It's all in there.
This one was fun, bro. I had a lot of fun writing this. I had a lot of fun writing
It sounds like you did for sure.
this. Yeah.
Was that a Scooby Doo reference I caught in there?
Yeah.
You talked about finding the can't find the villain.
Yeah. I'm like,
I
let me pick some cool metaphors that are relatable for the most part.
caught
I
that.
thought that was good. Yeah, because they always rip off the mask of the villain at the end. I thought
Yeah,
that was
Yeah.
fun. But thank you.
I like how you leaned in at certain points with your hand in here, and it's like, y'all got to get this. And
Mhm.
also how you shed light on how the wellness industrial complex is structured, right? Because everybody's a health guru nowadays, and oh, you want to feel better? It's all about feeling better, right? And click the link in the bio.
Yes. That click link.
But then also, right, the part where you tied in people choosing not to heal, because that's very real too. Nowadays, people know that something's bothering them, or that what they say, what we call childhood trauma, is right in their face, and just sweep it under the rug, so to speak, and go on about like life as it already is, without making an effort to uncover what could be possible for them if they dealt with something head on, face to face. I really appreciated that. I saw that you had fun with doing that one.
Absolutely. I take notes well, as y'all can see. I took all
Yeah,
y'all notes and like tried to put them into this piece. My apologies. Go ahead.
no, you can see, like you said to me last time, like you've gone up a level. you know. And I was just thinking, if this woman had a church, she could lead the congregation, boy. Because you've got that preacher quality about you, you know. You've got that. I could see you definitely up there, like changing people's lives with the way that you speak, because that is your gift, you know. And I echo everything. Emmanuel basically said everything, you know, especially the bit about the wellness space. It's good to hear you say it in the poem because personally it can be a trigger for me because I do find it wicked. You know what I mean? I think it's wicked. Like, if you don't have the qualifications, the knowledge, the life experience, you know, as we've said before, spirituality and growing in yourself and all that, it's a messy business, you know. And if you saw me at some of my worst times, like I look like I've crawled out a skip, you know, eyes swollen, crying for days, you know, journaling, and but that's how you get to the other side. So it really irritates me when I see people where I know, because I think once you start to rise, you can tell. Where I'm sitting there, I'm like, you're full of doo doo, you are. And there's so many people that need genuine help, and
Yeah.
you are charading as being one of them people, and it's wickedness, but it's balancing it and it highlights the good ones. So
It's a setup, you know, and the leading the witness is the craziest part. They'll give you about 90 seconds of like genuinely solid information that they most likely looked up. I want to give them that credit. But then right after that, this supplement or this study or you know what I'm saying? In a time such as this, when people are struggling to buy groceries, maybe don't try to force feed them more things. Maybe just give them the information. You know what I'm saying? On a free platform. I understand get your money, but at the same time, you know what I mean? You don't have to sell everything. People are selling everything, including themselves. And that is something that I've noticed quite a bit, especially in the wellness space. That's why people don't trust it. That's why people won't listen to it. It's because everybody is looking for all right, where's the gag? Where's the QR code? What's the thing? You know what I mean? That's why I'm so proud of us for not doing that. And we just give the information from a layman's real time person perspective. Right? That's my soapbox. That's my TED talk.
that was good.
I want to say though that I think like everybody said, like your writing has improved like each time, but now it's like the writing, yeah, but the performing the writing, right? Because the words are the words, but when you perform it, like, so you know what I'm saying? Like you wrote it, you went over it, you could tell, you know what I'm saying, that
Mhm.
you owned it through how you performed it, right? But I want to say, as far as content is concerned, like I agree, of course, like everybody else, I like what they like, but the part that I really like was in it through intention. A lot of people don't make intention, they don't have or build or create intentions based off of what they actually want, but based off of what society says they want. And
Mhm.
like the way you broke that down, like in everything that you said about the medical and this and that, like I really love that part, because a lot of times we think that we're setting intentions or we think that we're setting goals, you know, for ourselves, but a lot of times a lot of people are not. A lot of people are setting intentions to move closer into a group or to be accepted here or to, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And it's not for the betterment of themselves. And that's why they do, you know, take a picture of the QR code. And that's why they are
Mhm.
hitting links in the bios, because they want the fast results, so they want the popular results, so they want this, and they move off of those intentions. So I like the way that you use how the infrastructure is, but in a way, bring it back to the people and not setting the proper intentions. You got to look into yourself first and really open that door and be able to check with you first, so that when you now make those plans, they're for you. I like that.
Mm.
My piece, I appreciate that. And thank you for noticing, all of y'all actually, for noticing those little tidbits. Because obviously, I never know. Like, I just go off of what I think and my perception and how I feel, which I think is how the work comes out so well, especially now. But things like hearing the preacher in my voice when I get to the you at the pew part, you know what I'm saying? Things like that, that was intentional. You know what I mean? And thank you, Tone, because you was one of the main ones like, yo, those words, but yo, embody that. You know what I mean? And I think in order to embody it, this is just a lesson. I got a little mini TED talk, I guess, another one. Uh, in order to do that, I had to do some work. You know what I mean? And I think the work on self shows in the work that I'm trying to put out. You know what I mean? You can't possibly be a part of the change or say the things that we say if we're not actively doing it. And I think the confidence is showing because I'm more confident in self. I am absolutely obsessed with myself. I love the hell out of myself. You know what I mean? And I encourage that other people, get there first because that's how you can shed that light and love on everybody else. You have to get to a place where you're comfortable in your own skin. It's a process and it's different for everybody, but I can tell
I
y'all
see
from
it.
experience, coming from a snail, coming out of that cocoon and being a butterfly is fire, bro. It's a lot of fun. It's a
Definitely
lot of fun.
that though, because in the beginning you went from the depression and the sad and the in the shell to, and I don't know if those the Monday walks and talks, like I don't know if those consistently doing those, I don't know if that helped just me, but
All of it.
from
All of it.
then until now, like I said, even in the way you just performed this piece was so much more like it's just flow. It was just flow. That was, you could see the growth. And there's
Mm-hmm.
definitely the confidence there. And there's definitely I got something to say, you're going to hit me whether you like it or not. And I'm going to repeat
That.
it. Let's bring it back. I like it.
Adriana's got that thing about her where people would secretly listen to her because they don't want to admit the people that are going through it, but they don't want to admit it. But they're secretly
Mm.
like, let me just watch because it's like things like mental breaks and psychotic breaks.
Yeah.
How many people have had them, but one didn't know that's what they had,
Mm-hmm.
or didn't have a name for it,
Oh, yeah.
or if you're anything like me, I suffer in silence. I don't want no one to know nothing about my suffering. So it's a whole new world for me writing Aurelia and telling you all about what's been going on with my health because
Yeah.
that goes against what I've always done. But you have helped me to be more open in that way and just relax and go, you know what? Somebody might relate to this and it might help someone. So just I really do. That's what I love about what you're doing because your story is more, your experience is more common than a lot of people want to let on about in this
Absolutely.
world. But a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people like myself would do it silently, quietly, where no one sees it, and then come out the house. Ta-da! You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for your honesty as always.
For sure. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for receiving the word. As we move forward, speaking of the word, let's get into I am I. What's happening, brother?
What's going on with the going on? So I got a piece called Make It Happen. But before I get into that piece, I want to read what Wikipedia says about intention. Intention is a mental state of having a purpose, aim, or plan to do something, a conscious decision to bring about a certain action or result, encompassing one's goals, motivations, and the meaning behind their actions. Now let's get into Make It Happen. So, this is Make It Happen. I search my mental faculties for ways and means of making the unseen seen. Now, I can meditate all day, but at some point, baby, I gotta get on the good foot and do the bad thing. Get my hands dirty. Stand on 10, sturdy. Start with a purpose and plan worthy. Cause all the mirror work in the world won't make my reflection answer me. Yeah, I can meditate all day, but at some point, baby, I gotta bust a move, make it do what it do, cause this life is for me to live, won't leave it up to you. More or less I care less who approve. Can another two-step in my shoes with effortless groove? I make hard times look easy. Please believe it, please. I've been smacking since DVD was on your TV screen. Flow nice, but the MC mean. And I made a conscious decision to bring about a certain action. Planning, because the law of attraction won't make it happen without actually putting one foot in front of the other. Yeah, I could meditate all day. At some point, baby, I got a goal for mine. I got a goal in mind. Just want to prove God right. I got to show divine. So no, I can't sit and meditate all day. Maybe for about an hour. Let's make it happen.
No, sir. Hold on. Let me know because y'all gonna try to jump on first.
Go
Me.
ahead.
First of all, I'm glad I did not write nothing for this week because y'all would have boom. Anyway, second of all, I love the fact that you read the definition first before you did that piece because at first, like if I didn't hear the definition, I would have been like, "Dang, what's wrong with meditating?" But the intention behind it is it's not. That's just one part of it. You have to take it from your mind and your head and bring it into reality, and that is the do part. And I love the way I love the way you did that part. You and Adrian, y'all kind of in a different on two different aspects. She did hers through like you have to check yourself or whatever for intention, and yours is more like on the sense of don't get comfortable in just like thinking and believing and wanting or whatever. Like there's the other part, the other aspect to bring intention. Your intentions is not intention if it stays in your head. Like you actually have to like so like that was good too. And I want to say also your performance, you ripped the performance aspect of it too just now. I ain't gonna hold you up. You just ripped it. You just ripped it. You just ripped it. The way you just flowed, even on those tongue twisting words, and yeah, you just ripped it too. You just ripped it. Y'all owning y'all pieces. Y'all owning y'all pieces, and y'all serious about what y'all saying. I love this.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Talk
Yeah,
that talk, sir. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm excited. Talk that talk, sir. Oh, okay. Yeah. I see I'm not the only one who took notes. Okay. That was absolutely brilliant. I heard the musicality in your piece and the way it came out. That could absolutely be a song. Just saying. And also the messaging, like to elaborate on Tone's point, I agree with her 100%. But you know what I mean. In addition to that, I think it's important to point out take action. Like it's one thing to set the intention. It's one thing to sit and meditate on what you want, what you need, how you want to heal, but you have to take that action. So in that way, it's interesting how in alignment we were as far as that was concerned. Obviously, I echo all of the sentiments. Talk that talk, sir. Hip hop is real, and this is what happens when you work on your craft and are able to take constructive criticism well. It creates magic. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna shut up now.
I want to say before, I know you want to say something, Carolyn, but I also want to say before I forget the part about the action part because the meditation is so it's always like this glorified good thing or whatever. But when you started like the action part, it was always like you got to get dirty, you got to get like I'm trying to get you know what I'm saying. It's
Yeah, yeah.
I like the reference in that like yo, like I got to get my hands dirty. Like I like it's the negative part of it's like the you know what I'm saying. The meditation is calm, simple. When he started talking about like actual do, the reference to everything was like hard, gritty. You know what I'm saying? Like not so. I thought that was pretty cool too because when you are actually taking action and you are actually doing the footwork and you in the trenches, it's not easy. It's not bubbles and clouds. It's you know what I'm saying. So I kind of like the way when he spoke about the action. I like the hardness of the words that he chose.
yeah. For me, what I got from that was that the meditation is the preparation. The meditation is a part of the process, not the process. And it made me think about the affirmations that I've been doing, 369 affirmations, and I've been getting a bit nuts about making sure I do the 6 and the 9. And the Most High said to me, it's already in you. It's already in your system. You needed 369 when you started doing these. You've progressed from there. You know, you might need to meditate more at the start, but as you progress through your spiritual journey, your life is a meditation. You know what I mean? So it's like the meditation is the preparation for the attention and the focus and the energy. Where you put your energy is what will manifest, what will grow. So I love that, and I loved your delivery and the straightforwardness of it, the factualness of it, you know, because that hits hard. And 1 hour a day is a long meditation anyway. So if you can get an hour a day in, like, you're winning, mate. Trust me. So yeah, that was magnificent. And now I'm slightly scared because I wrote my pieces this morning and I ain't practiced. My delivery is not going to match you two today. I'll just make that clear now. But I will read what I wrote this morning.
Hey, let's not do that. Just because you wrote them this morning doesn't mean they won't be impactful. And you
Right.
always deliver.
You got to reframe that and set the intention to deliver.
No, I
Correct.
can't take away from your work.
No,
You
don't
two,
take away.
Well, you're not. You're not
you
taking
two
away. You're
clearly
adding to.
practice. The practice and the effort and the work behind it is what I know, and Synthonia knows. That's what I saw. Because you can't deliver them tongue twisters like that. You can't have all those beautiful moments within it where you're talking to the camera and you're changing your voice, and that's preparation. So I haven't prepared like that. So I don't deserve to be up where you two are today.
So
But yes, I have confidence in my words. I do have confidence. My
that's
words
what
are all right.
that's the only thing I meant when I said what I said. Not like, oh, I said, but I know like exactly what you said. You took the words right off my tongue. You could see, the preparation is there. It wasn't like I would have wrote it on Wednesday. I would have wrote it, looked over it again, but this morning and been like, all right, I'm good. Now I'm be like, when I'm writing, I want to be practicing. Oh, jeez.
It's a good reminder though, because just before I start, I'll leave you the space to introduce me, but it's a good reminder that work that you both put in elevates your words. You know what I mean? It makes, especially with the length of yours, Adriana, and the amount of stuff you've got within it, by adding the theatrical things and the different pacing, all the work that you put in makes it much easier to get in. You know, it just takes the quality, takes your words from words to something. Yeah. And you, Emmanuel, that was a performance. That was a proper like.
Thank you. Yeah. That music part of it was intentional.
Well, all right. With all that being stated, we appreciate the love and we want to shower you with it. So, Supernatural C, what do you have for us today, my love? You giving us a double dose, I hear.
Yeah, I like Synthonia. I've just had no time this week. Let me rephrase that. I've had loads of time, but it's been allocated in loads of different places. So my intention was to offer something. So I've done something. And the first thing I thought about was last time I did She and I did Black, which was about my identity as a Black person, as a Black woman, and as a female. So the one I didn't do was Mum. So I thought, let me do Mum as an intention. So I intended to be Mum. Intention was calm, calculated, known. Not to have a baby or to catch a man, nor for trendy status or Instagram. Intention to teach, to love, to nurture, to grow, to be, together, go further. Intention to raise, pour in and learn from. Intention to feel what it is to be one. Intention for better than me. Gifts to the world you can see. Manners and kindness, empathy, non-violence, supreme light shining, godly. Gratitude for the granted, intentions in full success. They are more than I imagined. We are truly blessed. That's Mum.
Hey, not to sum it up, but the part that you said, intention for better than me, I just think resonated that as a parent, right? I could never be a mother, but as a parent, that's what we want for our children, right? I don't want him to, Kyrie, to live and try to put my, like, oh, I didn't make it in this, so he has to do this too. But whatever he wants for himself, I want him to do his best at, right? So that's what I got from that part about intention for better than me.
Thank you.
That's what I mean. Like, even it's not to beat a dead horse, but in truth, nobody else can deliver what you do and the way you deliver it because of your position. We all, like, that's what makes us great. We all have a different perspective. That your perspective as a mother, and frankly, from my perception, a great one. You know what I mean? Given your story and all you've been through and the amount of positivity you've managed to pull out and the amount of growth, because a lot of people refuse who are in your age bracket. No disrespect to that, you know what I mean, if there is any. But from the perspective of a mom, to set the intention to have your offspring be better than you and then to act upon that is the special thing that people need to see. And I think you vocalize that in a beautiful way, in your very unique way that's very clear. Make it simple, so never underestimate that is what I say for future pods. um just love what you do, because we love it, and we can hear the love you put into it as well as the love you give to your children, and in turn that love is reverberating back to you.
100%. Thank you, Adriana.
Oh.
I think my intention with writing that piece as well was, I think, I've worked in children's services, as you know. I've been a youth worker my whole professional career, and I've seen the outcome of people not having clear intentions when they have children. And I think it's such a dangerous place, such a dangerous road to walk without clear intentions. Because, if you're doing it because your favorite pop star's got these kids and they look super cool wearing matching outfits, like you don't know what's going to hit you when that youth comes. And all that can be left is neglect if you don't have the right intentions. So I wanted to be clear for myself. I wanted to be a mom. I didn't want to have a baby. I wanted to be a mom. And that's something different. I think there's, unfortunately, people that want to have a baby and don't have any idea about raising children. So if your intention's right, you can get there. So my second piece that I've wrote is called Light Intentions. Where does truth begin and end? Is it really for our best, what is intended? Opportunity comes at all times. We can grasp and grab or open like lotus our hands. Give and receive in love. Relax and be at one. Manipulation is a 3D thing with which I'm truly done. Universal laws are applicable. We can lie to our souls and come unstuck. Claim to be true when all the moves are false. When all of you is ghost, on fences, sitting, aligning with everything, so no one sees your role. Some do now, though. Light shines out from kinds new to what you may have encountered before. They see through walls, see BS and flaws in stories, watch the lies unfold before thee, and cannot be gaslit. 5D consciousness, manifest from the depths, full focus on self, with intention for humanity to rise to our best. Mine out with your intentions, if driven by the minus. Jealousy, envy, unkindness will bite like mosquito and spread as a fever. Walk away if you're out for revenge. It doesn't work. It could be your end. Stop the ish if it's negative. We attract what we are. We become what we do. Our world simply reflective of the actual truth. Inhabit light intentions, love divinations, peace and contribution to the whole for the whole, not ego or impressions. Spiritual sickness is a real circumstance, claiming to be when in actuality there's no growth, no tears, no painful paths to truth, just the cloak, intelligence artificial, and a smile that's deeply false. We see through walls, BS and flaws in stories. We watch the lies unfold before thee and cannot be gaslit. We are the light workers with light intentions, higher guidance and interventions. We will speak or close our mouths, our vision clear where there is doubt.
So you guys all wrote about intentions on different levels, and that was really cool. Obviously, it wasn't intentional, but now I'm not gonna lie. The first one you did, like I was in and out because I got a phone call. But for this one, I heard through and through. And like when we think about intentions, we think like setting a goal or setting a, oh, this was my intentions and going into doing this, or but the way you wrote about intention as a whole, like good and bad, as like right and wrong, as moving forward or falling back, like you know what I'm saying, like that was dope how you wrote about it too. There was one part that I'm going to come back to it after people speak because I have to remember the actual words verbatim because I was like I had something to say to that. But I do like the way you wrote about intentions as like in a more like grander scheme of you know what I'm saying, like I guess like you said, light intentions, like light power, star power, like you know what I'm saying, good intentions and bad intentions, like and good intentions will ultimately grow you and bad intention will hold you back. But I like the way you wrote about intentions on that level. But I'm gonna spin the block after everybody speaks.
Thank you, sis.
I appreciated that delivery for all of the reasons Tone mentioned, but also because like as a synesthete, like I hear things and I also visualize. You know what I'm saying? Like I do my best to write that way, and I also see things that way when I listen to other people's artwork. And the way I saw it, like you were reading it as if it was a story, so I could see like one of your creations going along with it. You know what I mean? Like one of your illustrative videos. So something to consider. But the way you expanded upon what both me and IMI were getting across in a way that is a little bit more, for lack of better words, I can't think of right now, mature. You know what I'm saying? And a little bit more sturdy and steady. You know, in a way that's calm, that's not as quite as maybe aggressive. Um, a little bit more R&B than hip hop. Let's put it that way.
You
But
know, I saw the parallels in both your pieces. I just didn't say anything. But I was like, yeah, again, we're aligned.
yeah,
There's a
I think
similar.
that's the buildup, right? That's the work to reiterate what's been said a few times here. Like we all, even though we're completely different individuals, different stages of life, different experiences, we are all blossoming, if you will, and just becoming more open to life in general and the experiences, and it shows. It shows in even the way we converse with one another. Because there was a time where you might get a sentence out of me, and I'm like nodding and agreeing, but not sharing my actual thoughts, just speaking from a personal perspective. I don't want to speak for anybody else, but it seems as if, from my perception, everybody collectively has just grown in comfort with themselves, and it shows in the way we speak, the way we have discussion, the way we perform. And I think for you specifically, people need a voice like yours. You know what I mean? You know, like not everybody's going to gravitate towards the Missy Elliott's or the Illmatics. You know what I'm saying? Some people will gravitate more towards the Zen Della Reese sort of situation, which is what you give me. So I really appreciated that. Love that.
Thank you.
Can
And
I
I will
piggyback real quick and say that I agree with you as far as I agree with Adriana, like your style is more it's like more like I and when I say galactic, it's gonna sound funny, but you're more like I don't know, even when you think of the name Aurelia, right? It sounds like you. You're more like I don't know how to describe it, but I agree with you. It's more
Mhm.
like
Intergalactic.
mixed with it's more like that like real is I don't know how to explain it, but I know what you're saying and I agree with you because that's how I feel about you too. You have a different
and I want to say thank you because what
powerful.
this is new evolved me, and this is
Hmm.
true me, if that makes sense. So
Yep.
what I want to say as well before I lose it in my mind is that a big part of the spiritual journey for me has been being honest with yourself. And a place where you need to be honest with yourself is things like intentions, because you can tell yourself anything and justify anything, and I say to my daughters all the time that you can go online and there can be people that eat paper every day, and there'll be a group where they all get together and they all talk about the benefits of eating paper every day. You're in a world where you can find a tribe for anything if you look hard enough. So it's like getting to the point within me where I know my intentions are clear. And that has been a part of my spiritual journey. And that takes self-reflection and self-analysis. Like, are you really doing this because you want to help? Or are you doing it because I think what exists in the spiritual community that I struggle with again is people acting like they're nice and acting like they're trying to do something good and acting like, but they're not. It's all
There's
about their
usually
ego.
that niceness brings money now. You get more honey with bees, so now this is the big act. Yep, you're right.
And it will get you a partner. It might get you somebody, if you look all floaty and fairy and put a flower in your hair and talk about, you know what I mean? I live holistically and all this stuff. It attracts, you might attract to IMI until he sees it's all rubbish. This gal can't cook. She's lying. She burns toast. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you got to be clear on your own intentions, and that requires truth and self-analysis, and that ain't easy. You know what I mean? That it's not easy to look yourself in the face and go, that was vengeful, if I'm honest. That was not for the good of nobody other than my ego. But yeah.
I just want to say, real quick, Armand, before you said the lotus, you made a reference to the lotus flower with the hand out, right? But when you said it, I like immediately in that second, I was like, that was dope, because like we know that lotus flowers grow from the cement, right? So the fact that you actually reference again, like how I might use the hard words, to reference like the groundwork, you represent that flower in that moment. Well, I think you said like touching the hand, like so it was more like when I envision what you said, it was like a lotus flower, but like a communion, so that was dope to me. How you reference something coming from nothing, coming from, and then like being able to like be this influential thing or something to bring more life. So that's what I got from it. I don't know if that was your intention there, but for that reference in that split second, that's what I thought. That lotus flower, that lotus plant, that was a good reference. I just want to
So
say
I'm
that.
going to say this before I forget. Thank you, Cynthia. That, because you remind me of this, right? And this is where I think you and I are very similar in that. Just going back to what you said about me being this calming force and all this, The world puts labels on you, right? And this is why I say I've always been this peaceful center. I've always been this highly spiritual being, but nobody's necessarily seen it because I had labels put on me, and I'm not making any negative about those labels, because you see what I give you. But when you're seen as nuff, or she's loud, or she's this, or she's that, or she's, you know you have to. And I see that in some of the conversations we've had, Synthonia, where people have said you're this, but you're not that. They just have never seen that because you don't show them that. And I think we get to see you, and you get to express yourself in a way with us, like I do, that is pure and true. So I don't know if this side of me, this full version of me, this Aurelia, would have come out in the same way, in the same speed, without you all, because it's this space that allows me to do that. Because I know I'm not going to be laughed at. I know I'm going to be embraced. I know you're going to trust me as the truth. There's nobody going, but when you were 20, you were. It's all fresh and brand new. And you're muted, Synthonia. You're muted, sis.
No. I was just talking in the background, like how people get like disagreeing, but I do appreciate that, and I also am in agreement, and same here, like what I'm saying, and like you said, I could be mine. We're recording, so hopefully you're gonna not take this part out, but I am too, like uh, part of the reason why when I get so busy, I still will show up, and I'm still want to be a part, and because I when you talk about everybody has a tribe or whatever, I feel like this is a tribe. I feel like this is its own tribe, and I feel like it's a safe space. I feel like even if we're not 100% all the time, or we get busy, or we do this, or we do that, or whatever, I feel like as a community, like we're all here for each other, and I feel like that's you know, yeah, I feel like we help each other even when we're not even trying to help each other. Just being an inspiration, or being accountability, or being, just having. I just feel like in that tribe, like it helps me too. And obviously, I'm gonna go ahead and speak for Adriana too, because look at the way she's blossoming and move forward, and you know what I'm saying. Even look at the way he even just spit his thing, and he's been performing, and I've seen him perform live, and I could see the elevation, the calmness, to just to be able to be comfortable. And if I mess up, I mess up, and I don't have to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I think this group is that for everybody. But I appreciate the words, so for sure.
I think we help to make being good and kind and gentle and peaceful and those qualities cool. Because the last word I'm going to say is I watched it was in the Yana Van Zant thing, and she was working. There was a young man in there, and she was talking to him about the pipeline in America from school to prison. Um, and the boy, when he first came on, I was just like, oh, this youth is getting on my nerves, because he just was. It was all this bravado, you know. But it didn't take long for her to break him down, and that she had another professional on there, this guy that broke him down. And the minute he got broke down to rebuild, he had me crying at the end, because you saw the truth of him come out, and he was gentle, and he was kind, and his mom had passed away, and he talked about his grief, and he talked about how he wanted to do well at school. And it's like, if anything, I just want to make it clear, and try and help empower people to be yourself. You can shed that. You don't. Peer pressure strong, man. And this boy was in peer pressure, and he was running the streets because he was grieving, and he was around idiots that would allow him to do stupid stuff. That's where he put his grief. But the truth of him was something completely different. And it was just beautiful to see that transformation on the screen, and see his courage at 18 years old or whatever to actually just shift and go,
You know,
yes, ma'am.
like, and I'm not gonna say so many kids, like it's been so many, but it's been more than one handful amount, like two handful amount of kids that has come to me, like when I was in the church, or when I'm helping out, and you like how many teenagers come to me like talking, they want to like know this, they want to like you, and you would think that these are some gang member tough kids, this and the third, but like when they like it's really not. It's really just that. It's really just a lot of times they were never heard when they were younger. This is something totally different from intention. I know we're moving away, but they weren't heard. Nobody paid them any attention. They were like talked down. So they built up these defenses that they have to be tough, they have to be this or whatever, because it's better than crying in front of people. It's better than, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather look tough and I'd rather look like I'm unbothered than look like I'm weak and I'm soft and that anybody could play with me. So a lot of it is like that. But when they see somebody that like me, I'm not, yeah, I used to be in a gang, but I'm not like a negative person, you know what I'm saying? I'm not like a street person, like, you know what I'm saying? They could see me and they could see that I can relate, you know what I'm saying? And it's just having somebody that you could just talk to and just listen to you and give you sound advice, like good advice that, you know what I'm saying? But exactly what you said, like I've seen that so many times in real life. Hey, I'm a case in real life. I'm probably the first case in real life. You know what I'm saying? Somebody joined the gang, did 10 years, did all of this just because I had to put on this image, because, you know what I'm saying? Like my life has just been so messed up as a kid that nobody's going to play with me again. So I'll take this on. Dude, but that gets tiring for real. For real.
But it embeds so deep when you do it. Because for me, it's not something I did in the same way as you, but where I did do it, I did it deep, mate. And it was really with men and relationships and that kind of thing. Because for me, it was like, and again, we're moving off, I'll end in a minute, but it was like that's when I first started to see things go wrong for me. And then I had to unpick all that stuff. Do you know what I mean? But the negative and the, you know what I mean, was tough, mate. I've had to work and work and work and work to break that apart and not let it exist in my consciousness and create future experiences, you know, because once those defenses go up, it's not easy to put them down. You know, they go up for
addicted sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, people get depressed and don't realize that you can get addicted to being depressed and the likes of that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's for real, for real. Yeah, but sorry, I'm done because I'll be taking us all around the globe.
So I think that's that for the performance section. So thank you everybody for your contributions. It's been magnificent.